I'm Councillor Nick Draper. I'm the Cabinet Member for Community and Culture, and that includes leisure, libraries, heritage and housing. And it's because of the housing part of that I got involved with the Economic Wellbeing Group. With the welfare reforms that were coming through, the best way of ensuring that people stayed in their homes was being employed. And addressing unemployment, particularly for the longer term unemployed, was something which was very important to me. And I found that the Economic Wellbeing Group was looking precisely at that. When I first sat down with them, they weren't terrifically together. They were talking about their own needs. They were talking about the needs of young people, for instance. They were talking about the needs of business. They were talking about the needs of training. But they weren't actually looking at that as being a continuum. And fairly quickly, they started talking about each other's needs. And it was quite magical seeing that, because instead of somebody sort of saying, this is what the young people want, this is what the young people, it's saying, what does industry need? What does commerce need? How can we fill that? And in turn, commerce, led particularly by Diana Stirk, was turning around and sort of saying, well, how do we fit young people, for instance, into what we need? What can we give them? And of course the training people in the middle were really moving with it. I'm particularly impressed by what Grenfell did, for instance. And it was just a marvellous thing to see, frankly, to sort of see these people working from very different backgrounds, from very different interests, working together. And if ever there was an example of partnership working at its level best, it is that group, and I use it as an example for how other groups should work. The thing about working with a successful group like the Economic Wellbeing Group is that it's a bit of a drug. When you see something working so very well, you want to carry on with that. And I've been looking in particular at the heritage side of my portfolio and the tourism opportunities that presents. Now it's very easy to talk about tourism and heritage and how you can get all these people doing this and that and visiting this and that. But actually it's a very complex interaction between business, between heritage experts, etc., and between the general public. And I think and hope that we'll use the same kind of model in moving that forwards. And I very much hope that the Chamber will be at the heart of that, because I think that's how we're going to achieve a tourism industry for all of Merton, bringing employment and bringing money to the area as well.